Hello and welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia, and as you can tell by the title of the video, it is time for the 2020 NRL predictions. I am absolutely excited for this video, but before I start, I am a Cowboys supporter. I am wearing the Cowboys jersey, but I'm not tipping them to win the comp. I'm not tipping them to win the comp. I'm not biased. We ain't going to win the premiership. I want us to win a premiership. I'll be cheering for us to win the premiership, but we ain't going to win the premiership. And I just thought I'd get that out of the way so everyone who turns the video, well, oh, he's biased. He's tipping the Cowboys. No, I'm not tipping the Cowboys to win the premiership. No. Righto. So I'm going to start off with my ladder prediction. I'm going to go from 16 to 1, where I've got each team on the ladder, and then I'll go through why I have that team finishing in that position. So 16th, I've got the Titans. 15th, I've got the Tigers. 14th, I've got the Bulldogs. 13th, I've got the Panthers. 12th, I've got the Warriors. 11th, I've got the Sharks. 10th, I've got the Knights. 9th, I've got the Dragons. Now the top 8. 8th, the Broncos. 7th, the Eels. 6th, the Cowboys. 5th, the Rabbitohs. 4th, the Roosters. 3rd, the Sea Eagles. 2nd, the Storm. 1st, the Canberra Raiders. That is my ladder prediction for 2020. Now let me go through it from bottom to top, and I'll explain why I've got that team, each team in certain position. So obviously 16th place, the wooden spoon. I've got the Gold Coast Titans. Now, for mine, they're going to have a really, really shit season. I hope Justin Holbrook does well, but the Titans, for mine, they don't have that much at all. Ash Taylor's got a lot of pressure on him. He can't handle pressure, I don't believe. The Titans' forward pack is not that great. Ryan James is out for the season again. That's a big loss, I feel like. You know, a lot of pressure on Jared Wallace and Fodawaker and all these guys. I got shit guys on the bench like Shannon Boyd. Who else I got? Bryce Cartwright. For mine, the Titans don't have much attack, not much depth, and I think they're going to really, really struggle this year. So Titans, for mine, they'll finish last, and that's why they'll finish 16th. 15th. I got the West Tigers at 15th, which is a bit of a surprise. I know a lot of people have got them around that 8th to 12th position. Look, the Tigers don't inspire me that much. They got decent halves with Benji and Luke Brooks, but their forward pack does not inspire me at all. I mean, Thomas McKaylee, Alex Twelve, Josh Alloway, Michael Cheekham, and Chris Lawrence. To me, that's one of the worst forward packs in the competition. You know, if you think Twal and McKaylee and Alloway are going to get you close to a top 8 finish, I think you're on drugs. I just don't see much go forward for the Tigers. Robbie Farah is a massive, massive loss. They don't have a recognised hooker. I don't know where Moses Mbye is going to play. Their backline is decent, but it isn't spectacular at all, by all means. But I think they're going to struggle. And Benji Marshall's another year older too, so you know, I think the Tigers might struggle, and I reckon they'll finish 15th. 14th, I've got the Bulldogs. A couple of reasons why I think the Bulldogs might have a bit of a bad year. I know a lot of people have got them around that 8th to 12th position, but you know, they've lost Kieran Foran. You know, that's a big loss, man. Kieran Foran was good last year. A lot of pressure on Lockie Lewis and Jack Cogger, if that's what the halves are going to be. Although I feel like Brendan Waker might be a better fit than Jack Cogger. I don't think Dallin Martinez-Lesniak is a fullback. I think he's a much better winger. They don't really have a strike centre. Their forward pack's a bit old. I think Tolman's a bit old now. I think Josh Jackson's more of a lock than a back rower. Who's their hooker? What they signed? Sione Katoa. He's not that great of a hooker, but he's decent. Their bench, you know, it's a bit over the place still. I don't see much strike in the Bulldogs, and they don't really inspire me that much. I don't see them really doing that well. So I think the Bulldogs are going to finish in 14th, and I don't know where strike is going to really come from, to be honest. So Bulldogs to finish 14th. 13th, I've got the Panthers. Not because I don't like Nathan Cleary, but I don't know where their attack's going to come from. They're a one-hit wonder, aren't they? They've got Kickow, who's really their only strike. They've lost Dylan Edwards for a fair time. They don't have a recognised fullback. Their 5'8" is either Jerome Luai or Matt Burton. I think Jerome Luai is better off the bench as that utility player. Their centres are pretty weak. Brent Naden's good, but he's still transitioning into a centre. He played a lot of back row in his juniors, so I don't know if he's going to be able to play centre for 25 rounds and be that strike player. Brian Toto's alright. He's a good player. But Josh Mansour, man, he hasn't fired a shot in a couple of years. Like I said, you know, the full pack isn't too bad. Tanavano, Tamo, Fisher Harris, you know, Kickow, Isaiah Yeo. I can't really trust Isaiah Yeo, but you know, I don't know where their depth is going to come from. They're still a bit young for mine. A lot of pressure on Cleary, and he doesn't really step up much. So I think Penrith are going to struggle this year again, and I think James Maloney's experience is a massive, massive loss. So for mine, Penrith to finish 13th, and they might struggle. 12th, I've got the Warriors. Couple of reasons why I got the Warriors up a bit high. One, they're unpredictable. And I think their halves might actually be pretty good this year. I think Chanel Harris-Tavita will really grow this year. I rate Chanel Harris-Tavita as a really good, young, exciting half. He is a great defender as well. You could even play him at lock one game if you wanted to. He can tackle like a machine, that bloke. I still question their hooker position. I've got to get that sorted out. Their forward pack isn't too bad. I think Isaiah Papali'i will have another good season. What else I got? Jazz Tavaga. I like Jazz Tavaga as a player. I like Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, Mamalo, and Fusatua. They're outside backs. You know, they'll get the sets rolling. And Harris-Tavita will be able to play off that. Blake Green's experience will be able to help out a bit for the Warriors. And Nick Reamer off the bench might be pretty good too, or if he starts at hooker. So that'd be interesting to see how the Warriors go. You know, if they get a couple injuries, they might be bad, but that's the same with a lot of teams. I think the Warriors might be a little bit of a surprise, go up a little bit. I think the Warriors might finish 12th in 2020. 11th place, I got the Cronulla Sharks. I think this team is going to go down this year. They've lost Pryor, they've lost Gallen, they've lost Feckie. That's over 1,000 games of experience right there. Josh Morris is trying to get out. I hope he ends up leaving. If a player doesn't want to be there, just let him go, man. It's going to cause dramas at the club. You know, I worry about Sean Johnson, his defence. His defence still worries me. He has to get his defence right. A lot of pressure on Wade Graham. He got injured in the All-Star game, so that's a bit of a concern. He's the captain, I believe, so that could be a bit of a worry. Matt Moylan's always injured, which sucks. Dugan's carrying injuries. Morris is getting old. You know, Bronson Sherry's pretty much the key to the Sharks, which you don't normally say a centre is the key to a team. Aaron Woods is overrated. He's not that good of a player. They haven't replaced Paul Gallen at all. And Andrew Fafita, from what I understand, he's still a bit overweight and his knee's not good. So, and the Sharks don't, and that's a lot of problems with the Sharks. The other problem with the Sharks this year, they're not playing at Shark Park. They got every game at Cogra, basically. They're not playing every home game at Shark Park. So they're playing at the Dragons' home ground every week just about, which is going to be just, I think, weird. So for mine, Sharks to miss the 8, and I reckon I'll finish 11th. 10th, I've got the Knights. I think the new coach, Adam O'Brien, will come in and do a pretty good job. I think Mitchell Pearce, obviously, is the key, along with Kalen Ponga. If Kalen Ponga clicks, but they need more attack than that. I think the young half might come in. Phoenix Crossland, the rookie. I think he might come in and play some good football. You know, the Newcastle Knights, man. I've got the forward pack, man. David Clemmer, Daniel Saifidi, Glasby, Fitzgibbon and Barnett. I think they've got the forwards. Their backs are Bradman Best. I hope he plays centres. Edric Lee as well. That might be a good combination. Maybe that left side, you know. Maybe they could go with that left side with Bradman Best and Edric Lee together. But their other side, man, it's a bit, you know, bit weaker. I think the Knights could make the 8, but I'm going to put them in 10th because of, I just don't know what to expect from the Knights. So I'm going to go 10th for the Newcastle Knights. Ninth, I've got a bit of a surprise, the Dragons. I think the Dragons are going to shock a lot of people this year, and I reckon Shane Flanagan as the assistant coach is absolutely massive for the Dragons. You know, there's a lot of question marks on Ben Hunt and, you know, all of, you know, their back line is a bit young. You know, Matt Duffy out, but with all due respect to Matt Duffy, he wasn't going to get picked at fullback anyway. I think Zach Lomax at fullback will be a success. I think Ben Hunt will have a really good season. Corey Norman will probably steal the team around, and Ben Hunt might play off it. Isaac Luke, he may be an old dog, but I think his experience, his leadership might be a good thing. I think Trent Merrin as well. If Trent Merrin goes well, the Dragons might do okay. You know, their fullback is good. I think. You know, James Graham, Paul Vaughan, Frizzell, Sims, and Merrin. I think that's a pretty good fullback, man. And if you're off the bench, if you're playing guys like Jacob Host, Isaac Luke, Jackson Ford, Blake Laurie, you know, that could be in for a good year. I don't mind the outside backs too. I think Zach Lomax will do well. Tristan Saylor, Jason Saab, Ewan Aiken needs to get back in form. Tim Laffey sucks. Braden Williami back in the NRL might be good. You know, I think the Dragons got some potential to be good. I'm predicting the Dragons to go well this year. I reckon they'll finish 9th. And they could be a bit of a surprise packet and be a improving team this year. Now let's get into the top 8, man. 8th, you know, the Broncos. I just feel like, you know, they've got a really good young forward pack. They've got an all right back line. I still question Darius Boyd. Jermaine Asako at fullback, I think might be okay if he defends well there. I think he'll suit it. Jack Bird's also fighting for that fullback spot. I think fullback would definitely suit Jack Bird, but we'll see on who gets that fullback position. I think Asako's getting first crack at it. Katoni Staggs is a strike centre, man. He's going to be really good this year. He might even be a chance for Origin. The halves is the only question mark for the Broncos. Milford and Croft. Will they click? Will they have to click? If they don't click, they won't make the 8. It's pretty simple. Other teams have gotten a lot better. If the Broncos forwards with Payne Haas and David Fafita, if they do their jobs, they'll be in the top 8. Matt Lodge is a big loss, but he'll be back around 13, I reckon. So when he comes back, they might start to get on the roll. So I think Brisbane will make the 8, and I think they are just one of those teams that they'll just be there somewhere, and they'll find a way. And I think Broncos will finish in 8th position. 7th, I've got the Eels. A lot of people are picking top 4. I disagree. I think Parramatta will still be a really, really exciting team this year. They might be the most entertaining team to watch in the NRL this year. The only question mark for Parramatta is their forward pack. They've got a great back line. They've got exciting halves. My issue with Parramatta is their forwards. I think Campbell Gillard is an average player, is a decent signing, but I don't know if it's going to be that great. Junior Paulo's a good player. Sean Lane's a decent player. Ryan Madison has to play good football. Nathan Brown's got to avoid injuries. Kane Evans is good off the bench, but I hope he starts. Outside of that, they don't really have any recognised forwards. Like Takarangi will play utility, I think. Alvaro, I really worry about Alvaro. They got a young forward coming through named Oregon Kafusi. He could be good. But yeah, I think Parramatta will still make the finals. I think they're still going to be a danger team. I've got to learn to win outside of Bankwest Stadium. So for mine, Parramatta to finish in 7th position, and I still think they'll be a good team. 6, the surprise packet, the big improvers of the year, the North Queensland Cowboys. Not because I'm biased, I honestly believe the Cowboys are the big improvers this year. I think Valentine Holmes is an awesome signing. Isan Masters is a strike centre, and he will be very good this year. Reece Robson is putting a lot of pressure on Jake Granville, and the young winger who played awesome in the Nines, Hamiso, I call him, or Hamiso, hope I pronounced it right. If he gets in the Cowboys' top 30, he will be very exciting. Look, to be honest, if you look at the Cowboys team on paper, they're one more outside back away from being a top 4 side, man. I think the Cowboys' new stadium is going to be a bit like Parramatta last year. They'll win a lot of games at home, and they'll be very tough to beat at home. I think Michael Morgan, Jason Taumalolo, Valentine Holmes, that's enough for me to make the top 8. And I think the Cowboys will have a great season. And I think the Cowboys will finish in 6th position this season. 5th place, I've got the Rabbitohs. Now, I had this team finishing 2nd or 3rd a couple months ago. But after watching Latrell Mitchell in the All-Star game, and I had a look at their forward pack, they haven't replaced Sam Burgess, which I think is a bit of a concern. I still think South Sydney are going to be a premiership contender with no doubt about it. Absolutely no doubt about it. They're a premiership contender. Their backline is probably the best on paper. Their halves are incredible. Cody Walker and Adam Reynolds. Damien Cook at hooker. Cam Murray I'm in love with. Man crush. Liam Knight, Totola, Sewer, Lowe, and Murray. That's a good pack, but it's skinny. Their forward pack's a bit skinny. I think they're another forward away. Their bench is pretty good. I feel like their bench will be fine, but I don't know, man. I think they're 1 forward away from being a top 4 team. I mean, if you've got Cody Walker, Adam Reynolds, Latrell Mitchell, Damien Cook, Cam Murray, you're going to have a good season, man. Gagai out wide. Braden Burns. I think Souths will be good. I think they'll finish in 5th position. Can they win the comp? They probably could. I wouldn't be surprised if I did win the comp, but I've got them finishing in 5th position. Just because I think they're skinny of 1 more forward. Now, the top 4. 4th place, I've got the Roosters. I think the Roosters are a chance to do a three-peat. I'm not saying they will, but they're a chance. You know, if you've got Kiri, Tedesco, Manu, Cordner, you know, they're gonna be right up there again. I love their full pack, man. Siwa Takiyaho, Jared Waria Hargraves, Boyd Cordner, Mitch Orbison, and Victor Radley. Great forward pack. You got Isaac Liu off the bench, man. Isaac Liu, Nat Butcher, Lindsay Collins, Angus Crichton. I'll keep going if you want. I think Kyle Flanagan will be a great signing. I'm looking forward to watching Kyle Flanagan play more football. They got to try and replace Latrell Mitchell somehow. I don't know how they're going to replace Latrell. If I can get Josh Morris, that'll be good. Maybe they could play Brett Morris in the centres for a while and play Ryan Hall or Matty Cavalli on the wing, even as a possibility. But yeah, I think Roosters will still be in the top 4, and I reckon they'll finish in 4th position. 3rd, I've got Manly. I think they're going to have an incredible season. I mean, last year they overachieved. I think with the Trbojevic brothers, Cherry Evans, an awesome forward pack, man. Aiden Fanua-Blake, Martin Tapau, Joel Thompson, Curtis Siridan, and Jake Trbojevic. And off the bench, man, you've got guys like Paseka, you've got guys like Cade Cust, guys like Sipley, Jack Jajeski, I thought was good last year. And their backline is strong, man. Tommy Turbo, Ruben Garrick, Dylan Walker, Moses Suley, and obviously Big George Tafua, Skesman, Ruben Garrick. I think Cade Cast might start at 5'8", which I think will be a good thing. Dylan Walker, I think, he can play 5'8", but I think he's better. He can play anywhere, man. Dylan Walker's a good player. I think Manly are in for a big season. I think they're going to be hard to beat at home. And I think they're going to really go close to winning the premiership, Manly. So, for mine, Manly to have a big season. 2nd, I've got the Melbourne Storm. Not much to say about Melbourne, man. As long as you've got Cameron Smith, Cameron Munster, that great forward pack going forward. Good backline with Adokar, Vunivalu, Olam, Pappenhausen. They're going to be outstanding, Melbourne. I think they're going to scare me. Obviously a premiership contender. Always will be, and I think Melbourne will finish in 2nd position this year. Not much to say about them. They're a premiership contender. Watch out for Melbourne. And 1st, I've got the Canberra Raiders. Last year's grand finalists. They have a really big season. I think Josh Hodgson, Jack Whiten, the great forward pack, man. Papali, Tarpany, Whitehead, Bateman, Soliola, Danama Slui, Corey Horsburgh, I love that mad redhead freak. Corey Horsburgh. Love saying his last name. He's a good kid. Gula as well. You know, they replaced. I made a few changes. I think George Williams is going to be a huge signing. I think he'll fit straight into that Canberra system. I think Canberra are going to dominate it at Canberra. They're going to be so hard to beat at home, man. They should be a very good side. I know history says Canberra, you know, their record, I don't give a shit. They're going to be strong, and I reckon they'll finish first. Alright, so I spent 20 minutes on my ladder prediction, so longer than I thought. So let's get into my other predictions. Biggest disappointment, I think it'll be the Sharks. Big improvers, I think it will be the Cowboys. Top try scorer, this is so hard to pick. I'm going for a massive roughie, a bit biased. I'm going Kyle Felt. The Cowboys get that right side attack right. I think Kyle Felt can score a lot of tries. Kyle Felt, try scorer of the year. Coach of the year, I think Trent Robinson, man. He's a great coach. I think Robbo will get coach of the year. Buy of the year, I think George Williams going to the Raiders. I watch a lot of Super League as well, so I think George Williams will be buy of the year. Rookie of the year, I think the young Newcastle half coming through. Phoenix Crossland, I think he might get rookie of the season. Dally M, I'm going with Josh Hodgson. I feel like if Canberra are going to do anything this year, I think Josh Hodgson might win Dally M. Now, my Dally M team of the year. Fullback, I've got Tedesco. Wingers, I've got Blake Ferguson and Josh Adokar. Centres, Joseph Manu and Bronson Sherry. 5'8" for the year, Jack White. And halfback, Daly Cherry Evans. Props, Payne Haas, Josh Papali. Hooker, Josh Hodgson. Second row, John Bateman. And a bit of a roughie, Curtis Siridan. I reckon he'll play Origin this year. Lock, Jason Taumalolo. Bench player of the year, Brandon Smith, the crazy Wombat. I reckon he'll get bench player of the year. Now, the hardest part, I have not written this down. This is unscripted. My grand final prediction, my grand final winner. The 2020 grand final will be... Oh, Jesus Christ. This is so hard. Alright, I'm going to do it. I'm going for it. A lot of people hate this team too. I'm going with the Manly Seagulls versus Manly versus... Oh, God. Alright. It's going to be Manly versus the Roosters in the 2020 grand final. And the Manly Seagulls will win the 2020 grand final. They're my prediction. I'm going with Manly to win the comp. I like their forward pack. Fanua Blake and Tapau, fantastic players. Thompson and Siridan are terrific back rows. Jake Trbojevic, Tom Trbojevic is a phenomenal player. Missed a lot of last year. If he stays fit, they're going to be so hard to beat. Garrick and Tafua. Tafua's a good winger, man. I love his big hits. Garrick can score a try anywhere. Moses Suli, he was last year, he had strike written all over him, Moses Suli. Brad Parker isn't too bad, but I think Dylan Walker should play centre. Cherry Evans will control this team. Danny Levi he'll do fine at Manly, off the bench, or at hooker. I hope Fayunu comes back in, but I'm going with the Manly Seagulls to win the premiership, and I reckon they'll play the Roosters. So my grand final was 3rd versus 4th. The Roosters will find a way to get there, man. They always find a way. The Roosters, they're just a nuisance. They just got that experience. I'm going with the Manly Seagulls, the Sydney Roosters in the grand final for 2020. That's my 2020 NRL predictions, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It is so hard to pick, man. Anything can happen this year. It's an unpredictable competition. You don't know who's going to win what anymore. It's so unpredictable. So, yeah, I'm out of breath. I didn't expect the video to go this long. 25 minutes is almost a little bit too long. But, yeah, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Manly and Roosters in the grand final. So yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.